Well, it fits on the lift. Not by much though. So I figured we'd throw it up here and we'd do a little bit of inspection and go through and see what's going on, talk about a few things, and where I intend to go from here. Unfortunately, in the last update, I let you guys know it exploded 2 brake lines. So if we come down here and we look up in underneath, right in there, it exploded the line that goes to the front tire and the primary rear line, I believe. So what's interesting is somebody has already started replacing lines on this, and definitely must have been just before it was taken off the road. There's some brand spanking new ABS sensors that are in it. I love this style of Ford suspension in the front. I'm extremely familiar with this. This is actually the exact same style that my Mud Wizard mud mower build was based on. So I'm very happy with that. And everything here is a little rusted over, but it's all stuff that'll pass inspection for the most part. Like I said, yet again, another brand spanking new ABS sensor is in there. So let's jump in underneath here. Oh, I wanted to address one major concern that you, me, and everybody had. So there is a cab mount right there. And the question was, if I go to slice it off right in here, what keeps it on the frame? Well, the good news is there is a factory cab mount right there, which also, look, there's an almost brand spanking new gas tank in it. I also discovered there's a brand new brake caliper over on that side. So somebody was chasing down an ongoing brake issue. So the good news is that is right there. So if we come over here and we square off with it and we come back, it's right there underneath that point in the cab. So the seat actually sits right about here. So to be able to have room for the seat, we've got to come to about right in here. And that, if we come in and we look up, lines up with this rib right here. So I just purchased a laser level, so I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to laser level off of this, out to here, and then straight up the side of this as my first cut. It'll give me extra to play with, and the reason why I want to do it that way is that if we come back here and we start looking at this, see how there's a bumper? And then underneath here, up in top, there's like a pseudo bumper that's built in. So what I propose is that that pseudo bumper seems to run around and have a point right here that comes out. If we come back out and around, so that pseudo bumper seems to be about here up. And it seems to come to right about in here or so. So if we take that and we extend out and we take a laser level, which I need to do at nighttime, which is why it is we're not doing it on film. We need to take a laser level from right about here and go right there and mark it off. We're going to take the doors out before we cut everything. And so I'm thinking that since this doesn't exist on the other side, and this one is not far from not existing. What is this? We got a random tile. Oh. Hey, that one's still brand spanking new. I can use that for cutting up the van itself. Cool. So, since the other side doesn't exist, as you can see, it's just plain gone. We need to find a point of reference to go up through there with the laser level. And the other point that I was thinking on the other day, oh, that's the other thing, is I did all of this in order to figure out also where the wiring was. There's literally not a single bit of wiring underneath this thing from basically right about here back. Everything for wiring is inside the cab except for that one drop down right there. That's it. So I need to gut the wiring from there back through in the cab, and then at that point it shouldn't matter where I cut as long as I pay attention to where the gas tank is. So if we get down in here, and right here, sorry about that. So here's our fuel lines coming in, which go right up onto the gas tank. And right in, let's see if I can find it here, find my reference. Coming out and around. All right, so here's our problem. Right there is our line that we wanted. And our fill neck is over here. And our sending unit, I think, is actually underneath here. So I haven't quite figured out whether I should just try and drop the gas tank down and put it onto the deck down here before I try and cut into there. I don't know. We'll see how gutsy I get as I get into there. Really, in all honesty, I think at first I'm going to entirely leave the deck, get this top piece off first, and just leave the deck with a giant square cut out, and then cut this off and move it up and see if I can weld it to the deck going across. Because the other quibble that we got to deal with, oh, this is the other thing I was thinking, is this is screwed. It's done for. Somebody's already packed it with Bondo. And so what I was thinking was right here, come out kind of triangle and then back and run it all the way to underneath where that's going to be. A piece of like square stock or something the whole length back. So that way that ties into the square stock also on the outside to counteract the flex. Because on the other side, if we come around, we've got, well, let me see if I can get in here. Let me zoom this out a little. We've got the door is right where we need to join into the cab area. So I haven't quite figured out whether I should cut off with enough extra there to bring it up and then set it right here somehow, or whether I should just plain zip a line down the side of the door and then butt weld it or seam it over or something here. But then that means leaving these. But another suggestion was that I should clamp these and weld them and then cut it flat and then weld it together and then weld across it to make it one solid piece. That seems like a lot of effort to me, but I don't know. You guys throw in a comment on what you think. Obviously, the door is not going to exist when we're done. This door here is most definitely living the main life, and so is this rocker panel. So that is evaluated as currently dirt. But the rear springs, the mounts are in really good condition. That frame rail is in really good condition. And in fact, the only place that seems to be really questionable isn't really that questionable by main standards. See, that's not bad. That one there is currently Rust-Oleum savable. See, it's just flake rust. This is trash. This is getting pretty portholed. This is really solid. And this is actually better condition than most of the Rangers I put back on the road. Anyways, there's an update on the condition of the underside of Van-Haulin and what's going on, and what the evaluation is on where we're going to go with it. Once I get it cut up and a little bit more to show you guys, I'll bring you back. I'm not going to bother trying to show you the brakes and stuff like that, because, not going to lie, I'm probably going to hack job them together and put a coupler in, which you're not supposed to do. Thank you for supporting me, and hope you enjoy the update.